So, FBPC once again were invited to take a look at MSI's laptop and handheld stand at this year's CES convention in Las Vegas. I was super keen to see what sort of new developments they introduced the last time I saw them, which was at Computex last year. Coming in, I noticed a whole heap of newer iterations of their existing laptop range, along with some concept pieces to show their audience as well. So let's hop in. First, their business laptops. Coming into their stand, you get introduced straight away to their new Prestige range, which has been around for a while. I was curious on what improvements have been introduced on this year's model. They have the 13, 14, and 16-inch variants on display, which can also be purchased as a clamshell or flip design. So whatever you desire, you can have. The 16-inch has actually had an awesome upgrade to the touchpad. It's 53% larger and comes with customizable gesture zones, which honestly makes navigation feel really intuitive. On the security side, you're getting all the essentials like TPM 2.0, Windows Hello with fingerprint and facial recognition, plus Smart Guard that automatically locks the laptop when you step away. You also get a gorgeous 2.8K OLED display running at 120 Hz with VRR and Display HDR True Black 1000. So everything looks incredibly smooth and punchy. And I noticed a few extra touchpad tricks as well. Pressing the top right launches MSI Center, the top left brings up the calculator, sliding up and down on the right controls volume, and doing the same thing on the left adjusts brightness. I think it's a really clever feature, especially on the 16-inch model, and I hope MSI brings this to more of their larger laptop range in the future. There isn't much of a difference with their 14-inch, but their 13-inch on the other hand has gained an awesome upgrade, and that's the weight. The last variant had this pinned at 990 grams, which is already pretty light for a laptop, but this year they've managed to bring it down to a staggering 899 grams without sacrificing any computing power or battery life, which I think is a terrific achievement. One really cool feature on the Prestige Flip laptops is the built-in Nano Pen. Obviously it works as a stylus, but it also doubles as a microphone, which is honestly pretty sick. It snaps into a dedicated slot on the back of the laptop where it stays stored and charges at the same time, so there's literally no extra hassle. And thanks to MSI's collaboration with Microsoft, the Nano Pen also supports Copilot Press to Talk. Just press both buttons on the pen and you can talk directly to Copilot, making it way more natural to use when you're on the go. An apparent 15 seconds of charging as well will give you an impressive 45 minutes of charging. They're powered by the latest Intel Core Ultra Series 3 processors, delivering high-end performance in the chassis that looks and feels premium. If you're after a modern business laptop, they're definitely worth checking out. All things considered, the new Prestige lineup is excellent. They were also showing off their new modern laptops as well, which I've always been a fan of for a while. They've designed it with full aluminium alloy with an anodized surface, which I think is a great new addition compared to their older laptop variant. The result of this is that the build quality on both the Prestige and the modern laptops have been significantly increased in quality to maintain robustness and sleekness, but also considering weight as well. Now you're probably also wondering on what new performance increases these laptops are actually offering, and the honest answer is not too much. The only big difference is that these laptops are now running on the new Intel Panther Lake chips, which isn't actually a huge difference compared to the previous generation processors, but there is one, and that's power efficiency. The new Panther Lake chips carry a supposed 45% longer battery life in relation to efficiency in these laptops, which is great to hear since these will mainly be used for people that work for an extensive amount of time. Another good point in relation to the new Panther Lake CPUs with these laptops is integrated graphic output. In terms of power output, you'll be looking at a speculated 90% increase compared to previous generation processors like the Arrow Lake and Lunar Lake. But I do have to stress that these numbers are very rough. But more concrete evidence is going to be announced very soon in the coming weeks. Those were basically all the new business grade laptops on display at their stand. Their gaming range, however, had a much higher takeover this year, starting with their Cyborg series laptop. Now, with their previous version of this laptop, there was a lot of backlash which included a very low TGB and color gamut, but MSI took that criticism under their wing and improved all those aspects in their newest model. Now this boasts an 100-watt GPU TGP output along with an 100% sRGB display output. The cosmetics of this year's model has also changed, which I think looks a lot more sleek. Variants of this laptop will also be with the 5050, 5060, and 5070 along with the Raptor Lake processors. MSI have also stated that this is aimed at entry-level gamers which have a price-sensitive budget. Our mid-range gaming buddies out there should be familiar with the Crosshair series laptops, which has been around for a couple years now. They've announced their Crosshair Max and Non-Max variant. The Max will be replacing the previous Crosshair model, and the Non-Max will actually be replacing the Katana model. And apparently, that's slightly due to cutting down on the amount of gaming laptop variants MSI actually has, basically to avoid naming confusion. The Crosshair will come with a 2.5K 240Hz display along with rear I/O ports and a collective CPU and GPU power output of up to 200 watts. This makes this laptop an absolute powerhouse for graphical related tasks. Now, our high-end gaming enthusiasts would have especially heard of MSI's Raider series laptops. This year's models have absolutely maxed out the specs, starting off with the Intel Core Ultra 200HX processors, which will be a refreshed variant variant of the Arrow Lake series processors, along with a crazy joint power of up to 300 watts coming from both the CPU and the GPU, and also a really easy method in upgrading your RAM and SSD. All you gotta do is unscrew this small section and you're instantly greeted to the upgradable ports. The internals of the laptop has a triple fan setup with 6 heat pipes to ensure a constantly cool environment for the components on the inside. Another really nifty gaming laptop that I personally like quite a lot is their Stealth 16 laptop. This one was actually designed to be a lot more sleek than the other gaming models. They opted for a cleaner yet curvier design to give it a more inviting look, which I think looks great, kind of reminding me of their business grade laptops, like the MSI Prestige and Modern. It's actually thinner as well, coming in at 16.6 millimeters and lighter at 1.9 kilos, which will make it a lot easier to travel with. Another point to mention as well is that MSI didn't compromise at all when it came to performance to look ratio. You'll still be able to upgrade the RAM and SSD to your liking, along with super expandable ports, which include dual USB-A, dual Thunderbolt, HDMI, and a full-sized Ethernet port. A 240 watt charger is also needed to power this rig as well. All other models like the Titan, for example, haven't had much of an upgrade at all, and weren't a huge showcase at their stand this year, but all the other models I just talked about had some really neat features that were definitely worth talking about. The last stand was the handheld claw section. I was actually told that there weren't any new products in this section, but the reason why they had the stand there for the Claw 8 handhelds were their new color variants. Well, they actually won an audience review to gauge which 2 colors are best. So yeah, I guess I leave this up to you guys. Which ones do you prefer? Void Purple or Glacier Blue? In the end, MSI really pushed the boundaries on affordable business and gaming related products at this year's CES, and I'm super excited to see some of these products actually coming to the market this year, especially in Australia. Besides that, we hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.